Is Rebel Moon Zack Snyder's worst movie? Hey Splashers, welcome back to Splash Talk. This review is of Zack Snyder's much anticipated sci-fi Rebel Moon Part 1. The water's deep, so let's dive right in. Zack Snyder, known for his visually stunning and narrative-driven films like 300 and Watchmen, has ventured into the realm of space operas with Rebel Moon. This film is part 1 of a 2-part series that promises to be an epic blend of action, drama, and science fiction. Does it deliver on that promise? Let's find out. Rebel Moon starts with Korra, played by Sofia Boutella, on a planet called Velt, farming her crops under the glow of a red planet. Korra has been living on Velt for 2 years and is working hard to become a part of the community. Korra is asked by one of the men of the planet when she will settle down. This will be the last step for her to become a full citizen in the community of Velt. Korra says she doesn't know if she is capable of love because it was beaten out of her when she was younger. The plot revolves around the peaceful colony of Velt being threatened by the tyrannical regime of Regent Balisarius. Balisarius is played by Fra Fee. Admiral Atticus Noble, played by Ed Skrein, is the military leader of the Imperium, and they arrive at Velt, and he tells them that the Imperium needs food and supplies to take care of his army of 5,000. Sindri, the village father, declines to provide the supplies to Noble, stating that there was only enough to take care of his village. Gunnar, played by Michiel Huisman, offers a solution to provide the supplies to the Imperium, and Noble becomes frustrated, believing that Sindri lied to him. He kills Sindri using his bone staff. Gunnar says, "I don't understand what you want." Noble says, "Everything." In desperation, the man who rescued Korra pleads with her to attempt to seek warriors from neighboring planets to help them stand against the oppressor. Korra sees the fight as a losing battle and decides to leave, only to be drawn back into the fight when a young farm girl is being attacked and almost raped by some of the Imperium army. Korra's backstory is shrouded in mystery, and we soon learn that she is a highly skilled fighter. I know you might be wondering, where did she learn these skills? Regent Balisarius discovered Korra in her home world at the age of 9 years old. After he and his soldiers massacred her planet, she came face to face with Balisarius and she held him at gunpoint. He puts his face to the gun to see if she will pull the trigger. Korra does pull the trigger and the gun jams. Balisarius sees something he likes about her and spares her life, taking Korra with him to raise as his own child, protege, and student. As he rises rapidly amongst the ranks of the Imperium army, Korra is taught the skills that she exhibits while freeing the young farm girl. Korra and Gunnar arrive to the port city of Providence to find a man with information as to where they will find the rebel forces of the Blood Axes. Upon entering a local bar, this is where things heat up, literally. This ugly creature approaches them, attempting to buy Gunnar. It's completely apparent that the creatures in this bar have a high similarity to those from Star Wars Episode 4 on the planet Mos Eisley, or the Mandalorian Disney Plus series. I'm not too harsh on the fact that this element is borrowed from Star Wars, as I love fantasy and creatures, but we do have to wonder, was this film supposed to be a story in the Star Wars film saga? Some seem to believe it was meant to be a Star Wars movie. Now back to the action. The sloth-looking monster wants to take Gunnar up to his hotel room for some fun. Gunnar tells him, "I don't think so." He grabs Gunnar by his private parts. Korra jumps into action, grabs the guy, beats him up, and kicks him out the bar. There is a jellyfish creature possessing a human body that provides information of General Titus being located on planet Pollux. The creature returns with friends to get revenge. This fight uses laser guns, and I can't help but have flashbacks of Star Wars. Korra is almost eliminated by the creature when Kai, played by Charlie Hunnam, shoots him dead before he can pull the trigger. Kai is a space pirate who steals for a living. Also, why does Kai have an Irish accent? It sticks out like a sore thumb. Kai offers his assistance and ship to help them recruit more warriors for their cause. They head to New Wodi in search of another warrior named Tarek, played by Stas Nair. Tarek was a prince of Samandrai who fought against the Motherworld and the Imperium. He became indebted to a rancher and was working as his servant, where Korra and Gunnar find him. Korra approaches him asking for his assistance to fight against the Imperium, and Tarek is willing to join them if they cover his debt. The rancher decides to take a gamble that Tarek can't tame this black griffin, and if he does, he is free to go. Tarek conquers the beast. Tarek's backstory isn't revealed in part 1, but is said to be unveiled in part 2 of Rebel Moon. There are now 4 members of the mini resistance heading to Dagus in hopes of convincing Nemesis to join. Nemesis, played by Duna Bay, is a sword master whose children were killed by the Imperium. She is said to have cut her arms off as part of a ritual, replacing them with metal gauntlets, allowing Nemesis to be able to wield molten metal blades. When the team arrives to recruit Nemesis, she fights a Spider-Woman named Harmata, who is lusting for revenge because the Imperium has destroyed Dagus, poisoning her body so she can't reproduce, and now she's on a rampage to kill all human children. Nemesis uses her blades that look exactly like lightsabers to eliminate Harmata, and we all know where this comes from: Star Wars. Afterwards, Nemesis joins the fight to save Velt. Now there are 5 warriors willing to fight for survival against the Imperium. They take off for the planet Pollux in search of General Titus, played by Djimon Hounsou. They find him passed out drunk in the streets, completely covered in dust and dirt. General Titus is taken to get cleaned up and offered a chance to revenge against the Imperium that he was once leading men for. Titus turned against the Imperium, taking his men with him, eventually surrendering himself to save his men. Once he surrendered, they were all killed. General Titus joins the resistance and the team is almost fully assembled. They head to a planet called Sharan to persuade the Blood Axe army to fight alongside them. They are met by Devra, played by Cleopatra Coleman, and Darian Bloodaxe, played by Ray Fisher. While Devra was opposed to fighting a battle against a dreadnought, Darian felt responsible for the impending attack on Velt due to his past business with Gunner, whose grain fed Darian's people in their time of need. He agreed to join with a subset of the Blood Axe forces. Now the team has grown stronger with each addition along the way. Kai informs Korra that he wants to fight with them, but he has to drop off some cargo to the planet Gondoval for an impatient client. On Gondoval, Kai betrays them all and leads them right into a trap. The cargo opens up into robotic scorpions that snatch each one of them up and locks them into a standing position. Admiral Noble arrives in an attempt to take the team back to the Mother World, increasing his status with the Imperium. Gunner foils his plan and releases each one of the Velt resistance. Darian Bloodaxe sacrifices himself to stop the Imperium warship from escaping and causing it to crash. Korra chases after Noble. They both fall to a small platform where their one-on-one fight begins. Admiral Noble swings his staff that he has used to murder a countless number of people. Korra uses her tactical combat skills to fight back. In the fight, she dislocates his arm, breaks his teeth, and knocks him off the platform, falling to his death. The Imperium troops retreat and the warriors head back to Velt. Is Admiral Noble dead? Of course not. One of Regent Belisarius' ships finds Noble near death, retrieves him, and puts him in a water-like cocoon. Using a Neuralink connection, Noble and Belisarius meet in the middle of a frozen lake to discuss Korra, also known as Archelaus. Noble is informed that if he fails to capture Korra and the rest of the insurgents a second time around, he will be the one to lose his life. Conversation concludes, Belisarius breaks the ice, Noble falls through, and his water cocoon is broken. He lands on the ground and is pumped with an electrical charge to revive him. Part 1 ends here, and Part 2 is set to pick up the story on April 19th. One of Snyder's signatures is his cinematography, and Rebel Moon is no exception. The visuals are a breathtaking blend of practical effects with CG mastery. Snyder's use of color and light creates a vibrant tapestry that brings this galaxy to life. Snyder's direction in Rebel Moon shows his growth as a filmmaker. He balances grand-scale action sequences with intimate character moments, creating a narrative that's as emotionally engaging as it is visually spectacular. The pacing is tight, with each scene leading seamlessly into the next, building tension and excitement. While Rebel Moon hits many high notes, it's not without its flaws. Many thought this movie was going to be a Star Wars killer, but in all actuality, it was more of a mashup of other highly successful space operas. For me, that's not a terrible thing because I love looking at the creativity of the costume design and creatures. As a sci-fi fan, I can never get enough. This was not Zack Snyder's worst film. Sucker Punch was, if you ask me. The critics are extremely harsh on Rebel Moon, and I feel that's because we all loved Star Wars and have many movies to compare Rebel Moon against. The storytelling of Rebel Moon felt as if this movie was meant to familiarize the viewer with who the characters were, more so than make the movie flow. I say that to say I believe the extended version will be more enjoyable, similar to how the Justice League Zack Snyder's version was. Also, Part 2 of Rebel Moon will be the best in my opinion. Rebel Moon Part 1 is a bold step for Zack Snyder, showcasing his strengths as a storyteller and visual artist. I rate Rebel Moon a B-. It sets the stage for what promises to be an epic conclusion in Part 2. Thanks for watching my review of Rebel Moon Part 1. What did you think of the movie? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications for more reviews and film discussion. See you guys next time on Splash Talk for more movie splashes.